Hey friends, before we get into the show today, just a quick heads up. We had a slight internet blackout and we lost about 30 seconds of footage, but we still got everything else and the show will go on.
Hello and welcome to the Great Game Debate Podcast, where friends come together to talk about video games and our lives. I'll be your host as always, Katie Berthay Lane, and joining me, of course, is the godfather of the debate himself, Jonah Gomez, although I'm tempted to start calling you the Green Wizard.
It does kind of
Also,
look
you
like
need
a
to come
wizard
up with
cloak.
a name for your little raven.
Yeah, so that's funny. I was talking to Wes about this. I kind of want to throw it out to the community to help me come up with a name for this guy. Because
okay.
he's gonna be a new addition to the show.
Permanent fixture.
Yes, sir.
Analyst number 5.
Darby the Crow.
King Darby.
Oh yeah, he has to have a royal title for sure.
he's
But yeah,
gotta
we're
have
also we're joined by Wes, Mr. Shakedown Bates himself. How you doing, buddy?
Good. It's a proud day in my household.
Really?
Yeah, my daughter, without any help from me whatsoever, finished 2 video games this weekend. She had a
Wow.
double victory in one
incredible.
weekend. She finished Slime Rancher, which she's put like I don't even
I see those
ungodly amount
trophies
of
pop
hours
up on my feed on PlayStation all the time from her play.
Yeah, and she finished Mario & Rabbids 2 Sparks of Hope. So
Nice. So
both
she got
in one
anything else lined
weekend.
up?
I don't know if she's got any plans beyond those 2 games at this point. She wants to. Well, now Slime Rancher 2 is in like early access or something, so she's like, oh, we can get it. So
I think you can only access that via Xbox though.
it's on. I think it's on PC Game Pass also.
Oh, okay.
So we could do it that
Cool.
way. I do have some quick useless video game trivia for everybody.
Never
I think
useless.
I think
Wes.
we'll all enjoy this one. So this one's on Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
So everybody knows that the series is known for its kind of witticisms in the titles. It's double entendres, and so there are a few that I found that are really pretty funny that they just couldn't go with because they were a little bit too spicy, I guess, for the intended audience. The PS3 game, All for One. Some of the potential titles for that game were this is the multiplayer PS3 Ratchet and Clank. Titles were Multiple Organisms, Bros Before Foes.
Oh, that's so good.
Friends with Benefits,
Oh, dear.
and Foreplay.
Oh man.
All better than All for One, I think.
Yes.
I wish they'd pulled the trigger.
I really
Ratchet
like
and Clank-
Bros Before Foes. That's so
It's-
good.
Yeah, you can't stick those as pack-in games, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time was potentially called Ratchet and Clank Clock Blockers.
That is really good.
And Into the Nexus was originally called Into the Nether Regions.
They chickened out. They chickened out, man. All right.
So-
Thank you so much for the Reddit video game preview, Wes. And of course, we were joined this week by a special guest, a returning guest of the show, David Burdette, lead editor from Gaming Trend, and currently challenging Jonah for most green on camera at one time. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing quite well, my good sir. And I don't have a name for the bird, but I assume Jonah had to bring that out because he needs a little bit of extra help in this debate. So
Oh,
Already throwing shade. We'll see how it goes. Well, my friends, I hope you stopped by Dracula's Castle on the way in and picked up your vampire killer because it's time for the icebreaker. All right. This question comes in from our Discord community. Let me double check. We wrote it. Randall Reborn, of course. The question is, What game as a kid did you think was awesome, only to replay as an adult to find out it wasn't very good? I guess I could kind of throw in myself real quick. Something comes to mind because it's been on my mind lately is the Legacy of Kain. Because I love those games and like the story of that series is incredible, but man, does the gameplay not really hold up in most of those games there. Especially Blood Omen 2 could get real janky. So yeah, sure would be nice to get a revival of that game franchise.
Hey, did you see that one of our community members recently put up a post about I think the developer Crystal Dynamics I think said that they were well aware of the demand for a remake and
yeah, I think the numbers where they put out that survey and they usually get like 1,000 to 3,000 responses on a survey like that, and they said they got over 100,000 responses on Legacy of Kain. So it seems, and they're like loud and clear. So I think it's pretty much inevitable that we're going to get something in the next few years Legacy of Kain related, which is really exciting.
2028, baby.
Yeah.
David, do you have anything for the icebreaker question?
And I don't know that it's necessarily that it's just not good, but
Fair enough.
it's one of those things where you play it and you're like, the whatever flash was there just isn't there anymore. And for me, I played the absolute garbage out of Madden football when I would do franchise mode. I mean, I would span multiple seasons, all of that kind of stuff. And then I sit down with it and I'll try to get into the career mode. I'll get a little bit of ways and stuff, try to level up my character or whatnot in the Madden Light RPG that's there. And it's just like, man, I love the game itself, but it doesn't hold the same. I can sit here and just play it whenever. Like that's what it used to be for me. That's all I did, and now it's a game I don't think I've actually picked it up in years at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. Those annual releases, it's a guilty pleasure sometimes. That kind of reminds me of man. When I was a kid, I've got 4 brothers, so we would just play multiplayer games all the time, like Mario Kart and like Super Smash Bros. Obviously, those games are still incredible, 10 out of 10, but it's just like I never play them anymore because no local co-op, So, Wes, you got anything for the icebreaker?
Yeah, this is probably gonna catch me some flack, but Kingdom Hearts.
You were so right. You were so right. Oh, thank you, Wes. You are so right.
I really used to love the Kingdom Hearts series, especially the first game, and
the original is a slog.
I mean, I'm an old man now, right? So I played the first game when I was in college, and I remember just thinking, "This is amazing. This is incredible. I love this." They could not have put a better combination of chocolate and peanut butter together, than this. And then they took away the peanut butter. They pulled all the Final Fantasy out of it, and now it's only Disney stuff. But going back to it a few years ago after my daughter was born, I was like, oh, this will be a good game we can play together. She loves Disney. This will be awesome. I turned on that game, and I only made it about as far as the Tarzan world because the camera in that game is trash. It is the worst video game camera of any video game that I've played in the last 15 years, probably.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
Real bad. And I just
couldn't...
couldn't...
system is pretty bad too, coupled with that.
Yeah, I couldn't keep going with it. It was just too difficult to play. It was just too bad to actually play it.
It's funny. It's funny you brought that up because Kyrian, when the 2.5 whatever remix crazy stuff, when they had that combo pack come out, we got it for the PS4 and we were playing it. Well, she wanted to replay it because that was like her childhood, and so I had never played it. I have always heard of Kingdom Hearts and like seen Kingdom Hearts stuff, but I've never actually played the games or seen the gameplay. And so I watched her play like the first part. I'm like, God, this game looks so bad. Why does everyone like this game? And so I was like,
you're just an elitist, Jonah.
And she's like, I can't get past this part. I was like, okay, let me try. And I'm like, oh, this plays
this does not feel
worse than it looks.
I have not played Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know how improved it is in the new in the new installment, but
okay, so
Caden's giving me
giving you
don't
this.
go there sign. So
yeah, it might be like this, like Kingdom Hearts wise, it plays the best. I don't care what you say, it is the best playing one. Kingdom Hearts 3
Probably a fair argument.
has the best
worst
gameplay.
story.
Shout out to the music in Kingdom Hearts though, because
Yes.
that has amazing music.
Freaking Destiny Island theme takes you back, nostalgic. Yeah, that hits home for me, Wes. I was such a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and now I just couldn't care less about it. But yeah, you got anything specific, Jonah, or are you just kind of piggybacking on Kingdom Hearts?
No, I do actually. So I'm gonna catch flack for this.
Elden Ring.
No.
I played it at the beginning of the year and I went back to it. It's trash.
I might actually get
so
I might actually get flack from David for this one. We're gonna go with a little game called Halo Combat Evolved. The first Halo game.
No.
I don't think it plays well. It's really slow, and there's like no ADS. And I understand that's like Halo's thing, but like, oh man. I wasn't really good at it when my buddy and I would play it on the OG Xbox, and I went back and tried to play it again. I'm like, wow, yeah, it still doesn't hold up, and people still live by that game. I don't get it. There's so many better shooters to play nowadays. And speaking of better shooters, the N64 classic GoldenEye, that game is so bad to play nowadays. It is just garbage. I don't care what
and
anybody.
They let you experience it too in its true form.
It does not play well.
I just want to make a quick comment about Halo, because I had never played any Halo up until about a year ago. Like, I'd somehow gone 40 years in my life without ever playing a Halo game. And Joey, our good friend Joey, finally convinced me to, jump in and try the series. So I played through the first game about a year ago, and I was actually surprised at how well it aged, just in terms of its gameplay, like the shooting mechanics. It's not groundbreaking, it's not great. I'm sure it was groundbreaking at the time, but I thought it holds up pretty well overall. It's still very, very playable. And then you go to, I went from that directly to the newest game. I'm like, okay, let's see how this game has evolved, so to speak. How has the combat evolved? Going to the newest game, and it's obviously way, way, way better. But I thought it was pretty serviceable for, being a 20-year-old game or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also a lot better with a friend, though. For something I've learned with that one.
Yeah.
You can deal with some of its inadequacies when you have a friend there playing through the story with you.
Yeah, I can see why that would make it better for sure.
I mean, Wes and I understand that perfectly. We played through Wolfenstein Youngblood. And the only reason why we finished that game is because we were playing it together.
That game is bad.
The game is exactly as bad today as it was back then.
Playing that single player, I cannot even imagine playing that game single player.
Yeah.
Would not be a good experience.
And there's some like exceptions to that. My brother and I last year, we played through only one campaign of Resident Evil 6 because we stopped after the first campaign because it was so unbearable. Like, it just, even co-op was no fun. Like, it was really bad.
Man, when Resident Evil 6 came out, I was so hyped for that game, and my buddy and I, we were playing through it, and he was playing as Leon, and you know how you can dual wield as Leon? His reload is so sick, dude. He dumps both the mags, he flips mags up in the air, and then he spins his guns and reloads them. And it's like, whoa, it's so sick. But yeah, the game's bad.
What is he, Dante?
Yeah, dude, he does some crazy stuff in that game.
He's got some Dante vibes.
He kind of looks like Dante in that game too.
Yeah, if he grew his hair out a little more.
Yeah.
Turn gray. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much to Randall Reborn from the community for our icebreaker question. And we'll just head right into our little interview section with you, David. We kind of went over your life story crash course last time you were on the show. So if you just kind of want to give us, an update on what's been going on at Gaming Trend and perhaps some standout features or reviews that you're proud of that you've worked on in the interim, or just anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, this year has been very interesting, I guess is the best way of putting it. Because last year it felt like I was hitting a whole lot of video games, just straight up video games, handling our holiday guide, all these kind of different things. This year, I started out the year with a pretty big bang of going to a Call of Duty League event, covering the event live, immediately getting Dying Light 2 while I was at the cover event and trying to work on that. Then having Horizon Forbidden West in my inbox as I was finishing the review for Dying Light 2. And then going from Horizon Forbidden West to getting Crossfire X, one of the worst shooter games to ever exist.
Man, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it this way. I had never given 100 in my life. Gave it to Horizon Forbidden West. Highest score I'd ever given. I followed that up with the lowest score I've ever given a game in the 35 that I gave Crossfire X.
Wow.
So it was like I went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and I played all of this stuff so much that I got to a point where I was just so tired of everything.
Yeah.
And I started reviewing a lot of different things. The headphones I'm wearing, SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro, love them to death. One of my other highest reviews on the site. I've taken to reviewing. I've got keyboards. I've got gaming mice. I've even got a couple of controllers that I've been working on that different companies have sent. I can't turn it over to this, but I actually have a Simpsons arcade unit in the corner that I reviewed.
And that's great.
So
what are those mini ones? They're like 2.5 feet tall or whatever.
No, this is the arcade 1-up one that is well, I guess technically it's but it's the arcade 1-up where it's probably closer to 4 feet.
Wow.
So it's the full 4 players too.
Oh wow.
So
Sick.
Very cool.
yeah, they sent the cool one with the stool and everything. So very, very exciting. I even did an energy drink this year. So I've done a little bit of everything.
So I have a question because you mentioned the energy drink earlier. How does one go about? I mean, because there's a certain expectation on what a video game review looks like, right?
Yeah.
How do you go about reviewing an energy drink? Like, what does that even look like?
So a lot of it is, honestly, some is just straight up trial and error. But something that I have learned after years upon years of writing that has really carried me in my gaming trend experience, and it kind of works the same way with keyboards and mice and headsets and all that. It's what is my experience with all of this? There are going to be technical details that I'm going to be able to write down. There's going to be, okay, this has this kind of caffeine in it. It has this in it. It's more me saying this is what my experience is. So for instance, one of the things that I love about Sneak is it mixes with the water extremely well. And it doesn't matter, like they advertise 10 to 12 ounces of water. I've done 16, I've done 20, and it still had a really good taste. So I've been able to talk to, hey, depending on how much water you want to ingest, if this is more about changing your life and drinking less sugary drinks, and you want to move over to something like this where it doesn't have aspartame or stuff like that, but you want to drink more water as opposed to just getting an energy boost, then that's an option for you. So once again, it's a lot of trial and error, but a lot of it is just one of the things I've really learned in my time with Gaming Trend is what is my experience with something. And that really, like gaming, people aren't coming to see it for a walkthrough to my review. They're coming to see what I thought of it. So really applying that to anything I review has really been how that's go with some technical information in there. Because in the end, you do got to give a little bit of an overview.
Sure.
So one more quick question just related to the energy drink thing. Like what kind of traffic are you doing on those kind of reviews? I mean, do you get a lot of people that are interested in like reading that kind of content?
We have a decent amount because the thing is we actually are more, we do a lot with video games, obviously, but tech is actually one of our higher looked at things on our sites because not a lot of people review it. So the thing is I may not necessarily be putting something out there that captures as many people, but I'm capturing those people because no one else is reviewing these things.
It's a very niche type of review then.
Yeah. And in the end, it's something that I enjoy. pretty much drink one of those a day. This year, I intentionally started changing from drinking a lot of the sugary drinks to trying to find something that would work for me and Sneak. Ever since switching over about halfway through the year, because I was using a different drink that shall not be named. Using Sneak has really helped me with drinking a lot more water and focusing on that more.
I'll have to try that, because I've always wanted to get into the powder ones. I've always just drank like the canned stuff, and I've tried some of like the ones that offer like the powder version. I've tried like their canned stuff, and I've liked one of the brands, but like the big one that everyone knows of, that started like this trend of the powdered ones. Their canned stuff is so bad. I can't do it, dude.
It's not the best.
It's really bad. So I might have to try Sneak out, because I do need to drink more water.
Not to be that shameless plug guy, but I know on their website they do have starter kits that are about $16, and it's a shaker and 9 of the flavors.
Oh, okay.
So and it's just pouch one try. So I mean, you'd spend about that much anyway. So
yeah, no, for
Great
sure.
game debate brought to you by Sneak Energy. Feeling a little
Never know.
Feeling a little low on energy? Sneak into some fuel right now.
This podcast not sponsored by Sneak.
On all of my videos, I started off with drink stealthily.
Ooh, that's good.
Good. So kind of following up on how you mentioned how you transitioned from doing less game reviews to more tech and product reviews, and how you were saying before you did that, it was, doing so many reviews of video games is almost like ruining your appetite for video games. Do you find now you have like a healthier relationship with video games? I get to play more on your own time and enjoy them that way, or how's that changed for you?
Yeah, I think it was good to kind of take that break and change my focus, because it's anytime you jump into something and you're working really hard on it, you can burn out. That's just life. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So shifting my focus so that I could still help Gaming Trend continue to push forward, that was good for me. And then in this end of the year, where there've been nothing but at video games, it feels like it's definitely helped me with being able to focus when I need to focus on these video games. Not to mention, we have some other great writers, and it was just a good opportunity for me to push and say, hey, look, I know this is a big game. We want to trust you to handle it. So
very cool. I'm interested over like the last year, when you weren't reviewing video games specifically so much, was there a particular game that you really just enjoyed and were happy to be able to have that experience of just having it to yourself to play casually and not have to review it?
Well, and this is going to sound kind of like a cop-out, but Call of Duty is just something that I play the crap out of. In the pandemic, myself, my brother-in-law, and my dad all got online and played Modern Warfare together. And then we actually got a couple other friends in with us and whatnot. Before we knew it, we had a pretty steady group of 5 or 6 that were playing every week. And now that, I suffered through Vanguard to a degree. There were some things I liked about it, things I didn't. I actually reviewed it well at the start and started to see the cracks in the foundation as I continued to play it. But now that Modern Warfare's here, man, we're just having so much fun.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Together. Like it's the stuff.
All right, obligatory Modern Warfare discussion start.
Jonah, go. I choose you.
Man, the game's been out for almost a month now, and it's taken me back to 2019 when Modern Warfare 1 came out. Infinity Ward does it right every single time, dude. I love the new progression system. It makes you actually have to play with everything. And if you don't like that, with the new DMZ mode that they brought in, you can get around it a little bit by unlocking different weapons, just by extracting with them if you find them. So
there's that last night.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I really don't want to work through this platform tree to unlock the SMG version of this gun. So I'm gonna go play DMZ. I'm gonna go find it, and then I'm gonna extract with it. Now I have it, and now I can level it up by itself without having to go through like 3 or 4 different variants in the platform just to get it, which is nice. What have been some of your highlights, David, on Modern Warfare 2?
So similar to you, it's like, man, I'm just brought back. Something that I was talking with some of my friends about was, I'm like, look, this isn't a perfect game by any means. There are things that I don't like, and there are things that I like about it. But I feel so much more satisfied playing it.
Yes.
Compared to the last couple of games, in the sense of, it's like, okay, playing this, I'm just having fun playing it now. I can deal with bad AI or bad UI for a game, a bad menu system, if the game is just great.
Yeah.
Because I'll suffer through the 2 seconds it takes to click into into starting a match, because I get to play this game. And just, they are the masters of gunplay. The whole team is, because there's not a shooter that sounds as good as an Infinity Ward made shooter. It just sounds good. It feels good every time you're using the weapons. Like, I've noticed right away that compared to like Vanguard and Cold War, there were so many ways you could manipulate attachments to where you had 0 recoil. Every gun in this game has some recoil. Doesn't matter what attachments you get. Maybe somebody will figure something out. It's about learning to control that recoil, and that is almost as much of a little meta game in it as anything. Is, I picked up this new gun. How do I manipulate my aim to be able to hit this stuff the best I can? And some guns I'm not doing as well on. You can tell with my KDs. Other guns like the TAC, I think it's the TAC V, the battle rifle version of the TAC. I have a 1.44 KD with that gun, with over 200 kills into the gun, which for those of you underneath me, that's pretty good. So it's like, there's some of these guns that it's like, okay, this just isn't working for me. But a lot of them, it's like, oh, this is cool. I feel like I'm almost relearning everything. And it's crazy, because most of these guns are guns we used back in Modern Warfare 19, but they still feel fresh. In Modern Warfare 2.
And bouncing off the whole like recoil control thing, what I like about that is, like, say you do have a gun like the Bison or whatever, which already comes with like a really high control, and you put more control on that. What happens is, if you dump all of your attachment slots into just making the gun easier to control, it's going to slow the gun down. You're putting more onto it to make it control better, but now when you're bringing it up to ADS, it's a lot slower to bring it up. When you're moving around, you're moving really slower, because the gun's heavier, because you put more stuff on it. And now you can do things like, I'm going to take out the stock, but I'm going to put this control on. Well, the stock, taking out the stock, you're going to have less control because you're not having 3 points of contact, but you're going to be able to move so much faster with it. And then I put a... Okay.
And special guest number 2.
Special guest number 2. And I've really liked the outside of just the gameplay, the mechanics of how am I going to plan out by building out my gun, and now they've got weapon tuning. So like specific attachments, you can tune those and tweak them. It's like, well, I don't need as much control off of this one, where this one can like make me move a little faster, or it can help me with the sway of the gun while I'm ADSing. So I'm going to move this like shader down to more weapon sway control instead of recoil control. It's cool stuff like that they're putting in.
The little meta game.
Two questions. I have 2 questions. The first, what's DBZ mode? And is that like where you can shoot Kamehamehas like in Fortnite?
It's DMZ.
Dragon Ball Z crossover.
Why don't you explain it?
DMZ? I don't know.
Why don't you explain it a little bit, David?
That sounds good. As I see Wes sneaking in DMZ, so that way we can take advantage of the SEO. Also, Warzone 2. DMZ actually takes place on the Warzone map, so it's a very large map. But the idea is you're dropping in. You have the option of setting a loadout at the very beginning of the match, or not taking anything in with you, because anything you take in with you, you could lose it if you die without exfilling. So, for instance, there are several guns that are contraband that I've picked up in my exfills that I have in my armory. I can choose that I want to throw them in onto my loadout so that I start with some decent stuff. But I also risk the fact of, if it doesn't go the way I want it to go and I die in the battlefield, I lose all of that.
Permanently?
So the cool thing,
Yeah.
yes, because it's a weapon that I dropped. So the fun is that when you drop in, you are dropping in against enemy AI. So there are different just computer players. But then the interesting thing with this is that there are also teams of real players in the environment as well. And there are different missions you choose at the beginning that you may want to try and accomplish as you were playing and walking around everywhere. So some stuff may be as simple as, okay, I want to destroy 6 cars while I'm here to earn something. Some stuff is inside the actual mission, where you've got contract phones where you could go up and, like, one of the ones we did was, I did the contract phone, which was go over to this garage, get in this truck, and then drive this thing of supplies to this area where a helicopter is going to be waiting to take it out. So I'm trying to stay alive, obviously, get that stuff out. I earn money for that, which I can then use to buy different things and whatnot. And it's in a 25-minute time frame. And then once that ends, there's a spot of radiation on the map that suddenly starts expanding. So I've only got so much time to get to my exfil to try and get out, which there are usually 3 different points on the map that are randomized where you can exfil. And if you successfully get out, then I get to take with me whatever I picked up in the battlefield. Sometimes, like Jonah mentioned, it's a gun I've not unlocked in the multiplayer yet, so I'm able to unlock it on my account permanently that. But I can also use it in DMZ if I want to, with a possible option of risking it later. One of the cooler things that they do have is they do have an insured slot that you earn these slots as you continue to complete missions, where that one is guaranteed that you're not going to lose it. However, if you die, there's going to be so much time that you cannot use that weapon until the timer runs out. And you can do different things in your DMZ runs, so to speak. You can do different stuff, and it will actually take the timer down incrementally and help you out to be able to use it again. So the better you do, the better equipment you have, and the better runs you have, really, more than anything. So it's just
so
neat that it's almost an open world RPG.
Man.
It's almost like an open world RPG, and I'll be honest, we very rarely encountered other teams, because I think most people are focused on doing these objectives, and they're like, they may see us, but they're like, if I engage, then I'm risking my stuff. Yeah, so
and
every second counts, every health point counts.
And there's like proximity chat now, which is just new for Call of Duty as a franchise. Ridiculous. And so like you'll have people like run up to you and be like, hey, friendly, and they'll walk up, and there's an option now where you can invite people in game to just join your party and squad up while you're in the DMZ. It's like, hey, the rest of my squad died. I'm by myself. You guys need an extra person? You can. And so you just do it, and then the party markers pop up on their head. You can see where they're at. You can't. There's no friend. Is there friendly fire in
That's really interesting.
DMZ?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, so you can't hurt them anymore. And then you guys can all extract. I was watching a video, and this guy was like, hey, wait, friendly. And this team of 3 partied up with this guy, helped him finish his challenge, picked him up in a helicopter, flew him to the exfil, and they're like, all right, dude, we'll see you later. We got more stuff that we got to do. And he exfilled by himself while these other guys were flying away in a helicopter.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Sounds like a lot of emergent, cool storytelling that can happen.
And that's just one mode. That's just one mode. They've got so many new things that they're
free.
pushing. Yeah, and they're
free to access.
Pushing more new stuff into the game, and it's really fun.
So speaking of free versus not free, I'm likely never going to ever play a multiplayer match of Call of Duty in my life. It's just not something that, I mean, hearing you guys talk about this is just like, you know, it's like way over my head. This stuff sounds really awesome, but I would be more interested in the campaign. I guess so. How's the campaign, and is there an option to purchase the campaign separate from the main game?
There's not yet.
Yeah. And I don't remember. Was there before? I remember they were talking about doing something like that. But I don't know if they've ever actually done that.
I think there were always rumors that they were gonna split it up into like 3 separate versions of the game, but I don't think they've ever done that. They haven't, right, David?
They did something with Black Ops 4, I believe, where you could buy just the multiplayer or just the zombies, possibly.
Oh,
or at least just the multiplayer, which that was the one that came with without a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I would be willing to like. I'd be maybe willing to like drop $30 to play through the campaign, but I don't want to pay $60 for a game that has a huge multiplayer aspect that I'll never touch just to play a 6-hour campaign. It seems like a waste to me.
And it is 6 hours. It is very good, but the multiplayer is where you're going to get most of your enjoyment.
Yeah, the campaign's fun. They experiment with the campaign a lot in this one. There's some things that don't really work and feel a little clunky, and there were definitely levels where I was like just beating my head against the wall because it didn't do well to explain what you needed to do, or it was just kind of frustrating. But I had fun with it. I know a lot of people don't like or weren't super hot on the campaign. But I mean, I like it when these big like AAA games who put out something every year do something different with their popcorn. It's like, oh, we put like the butter on the popcorn, but guess what, we put like a little bit of this chili oil too to give it some spice. Like it,
love this analogy.
And it was good. It was different, but it was good.
And also some of the most beautiful cutscenes you'll see in a video game. Like, I mean, straight up movie quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that Netherlands level that they were touting. It looked really, really good.
The game
really
looks
smooth. Yeah.
insane. Ken, you got any questions about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
No, sir. Hopefully our listeners have had their fill of Call of Duty, because now it's time to move on to the debate. All right, we are back for the debate. This week, Jonah will be participating, so I'll be taking over as temporary judge of the debate. This week, our debate is the legendary and age-old debate whether shotguns or sniper rifles are better, with Jonah representing shotguns and David representing sniper rifles. And of course, Wes Bates will be acting as assist trophy. So the two of you, just remember, at any point in any of the sections of the debate, you can call upon Wes to defend your position or attack your opponent's position. So with that, David, would you like to open the debate or close the debate?
Either or. I will defer to my friend Jonah.
Giving you the option. Wow. What a gentleman.
First time that's happened.
Yeah,
for sure it is.
All right. Well,
mind games.
Shotguns are all about charging in, so I guess I'll start.
Yeah. Role play. I like it.
And you know what, Caden, just to make your life easy, tack on that 30 seconds at the end, and I'll have Wes go.
Let's see. 1 second, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, I shall count you down.
Wes, I'm charging in. I hope you got my back.
I'll do my best.
3, 2, 1, debate.
All right. As I've said already, shotguns are all about running and gunning and charging in. I love shotguns because anyone can play a shotgun. Shotguns are really fun as an experienced player like myself who's played, or like my wife who doesn't really play a lot of shooters. She always gravitates towards the shotguns because she knows that she can play a decent round of Call of Duty, or for instance, with a shotgun. Now, when I think of a gun that's like iconic, it's always a shotgun. You can shotgun a beer, you can call shotgun to sit in the front seat if you want. And like, think about it, movies, games, books, shotguns are iconic. You've got the boomstick from the Evil Dead series. Ash, that's like half of Ash's arsenal is the boomstick. He's got his chainsaw hand and he's got his shotgun. Or you've got, Doom Eternal, and just all of them. The break action shotgun, the double barrel shotgun is awesome. It's a blast to use every time. Pump shotties, always fun to use. And you know what? The nice thing is when you have the opportunity to customize out a shotgun, they can be versatile. You can throw slug rounds in there and, kind of have a longer range thing. Or you can put something like chop off the barrel, have a shorter barrel, which makes it wider. So you have to get in even closer, but most of the time that makes you faster, which is super fun. And you know what? I think I'll end it there and pass it over to Wes.
All right, you got 30 seconds, Wes.
When? Starting when?
Now. Go, Wes.
So in Resident Evil 4, when you enter the village of the Ganados at the beginning, what's the first thing that most players do? They run to the house to grab the shotgun, because that is the weapon that you need to defend yourself the best from the incoming swarms. Shotguns are all about crowd control. They are about getting in close. And when you have swarms of enemies coming down on you, you want to be able to blow them back onto their backs. Also, shotguns have the best reloading animations in video games, bar none. Chuck.
Time. All right, out the gate with a strong opening statement. How you feeling about that one, David?
Feeling pretty good. I couldn't fit everything into my first opening on snipers, so.
Oh, all right. Not enough ammo in the magazine, apparently, Jonah, is what David's saying.
No,
So
too much ammo for my magazine.
All right. So, David, I'll count you down for your opening statement. You have 2 minutes on the clock. So, 3, 2, 1, debate.
Snipers in video games. It's iconic. We know all about these different things. You've got the Silent Scope arcade unit. There's not a shotgun on there. It's one of the most iconic. You just look through this little tiny screen scope and you sniping guys here, and they're just giving you that feeling of power. You've got, if you want power, the Gnasher in Gears of War, iconic shotgun, yes. But the long shot in Gears of War, the sniper rifle, there's nothing more satisfying than popping a locust's head off. Every time you get that shot, there's a feeling of just joy that wells up in you. And that's just kind of the start of this, because then we've got the Moisenhagen that's in Metal Gear Solid that is just phenomenal. You've got the Barrett 50 cal and Modern Warfare. Man, there's some wonderful moments on High Rise with a Barrett 50 cal and a thermal scope just popping people as they run out of spawn in the windows. That's what I remember about my Modern Warfare 2 days back in 2009. And then the AWP in Counter-Strike, the OP, whatever you want to call it, it's iconic. And then you've got the Halo SRS-99 sniper. Everybody knows the Halo sniper rifle. Then that's just the weapons that we remember from it. Then you've got the sniper missions, like Hitman 2 Silent Assassin Russian sniper mission, where you're having to actually use clues in the environment to figure out who to shoot in a crowded room. You've got all the sniper missions in Metal Gear Solid with Sniper Wolf, with Quiet, with the end, all these things that are incredible missions based around a specific weapon. And of course, the grandfather, the all-father of them all Ghillied Up. There is no better sniper mission than that. It's iconic.
Ooh. All
That was
right.
nice.
I'll go to warn you now, Jonah. David said the magic words, Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah,
so you
I
got
know.
some work to do.
I know.
Uphill battle. Are you ready for your 2-minute rebuttal, Jonah?
3 instances.
I am.
All right, 3, 2, 1, debate.
So you bring up Halo, and yes, while Halo's sniper rifle is iconic, I don't think it can outbeat that shotgun. That Halo is known for the shotgun, and you know, that was my biggest disappointment in Halo Infinite, is that they didn't have that classic shotgun that they had in all of the other games. And that was like my biggest thing against Halo Infinite. But when I'm thinking of a shotgun, I think it's one of the best counters to having a sniper rifle, because when you're sniping, you're just camping, and nobody likes a camper. You run into that room, they shoot, they miss, and you know what? They're done with that shotgun. You blasting them there, right there in their little campground. Bye-bye, little camper. I got you with my shotgun. And you know what? Sure, there's all these iconic, stealthy sniper rifles, but nothing's more fun than running and gunning, going in, guns a-blazing, charging in with your shotgun, going pop, pop, pop. You know? And that's where I'm going to leave it with my rebuttal.
All right, 40 seconds on the clock. Maybe you didn't have enough ammo in the magazine after all.
I've got something left for my closing thoughts.
All right, David, are you ready for your rebuttal?
I am ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, debate.
So see, I'm not writing shotgun on your rebuttal, because what you're telling me is Halo doesn't even prefer their own shotgun. If anything, in a lot of these big moments in history, when we see the shotgun come out in esports, yeah, there's some good runs, but the crowd oohs and ahs when you see Formal from Optic up there with his sniper rifle popping people. It's the roar of the crowd from that simp from Atlanta FaZe playing Call of Duty, popping guys, the roar that is behind that. And when it comes to campers in Call of Duty, the first thing I think of is the guy who sits in a corner with a shotgun waiting for me to come around and he just blasts me in the face. I run into a lot of those kind of campers. Okay, so all of that being said, I guess maybe you do have the better argument, because there is the Shotgun Elite series. Oh, wait a second. It's the Sniper Elite series. You're telling me there's an entire line? There's 5 games of Sniper. Wait, no, then there's Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is another couple of games in there. Those aren't as good, but we won't worry too much about that because they've got their own game. There's several of those. We've got culture based around sniper rifles with 360 no-scopes, people getting into organizations based on how well they use a sniper rifle.
30 seconds.
See, people want to see those big moments, these precise skill moments. You mentioned before, shotguns. Yes, it's a great entry point. But if you want to be good, you pick up the sniper rifle, because people love a slam dunk. They do. But that 3-point shot, man, snipers get more points.
Time. All right. Very nice rebuttal. Yeah, that snipers as a gun have spawned their own genre of video games. that's pretty that's a pretty good one. All right, so we're moving into our closing statements. David, don't forget you've got Wes to pop as an assist trophy for an additional 30 seconds. And Jonah, are you ready for your closing statement?
And I will use Wes at the end, by the way.
All right, 3, 2, 1, debate.
Now, when I'm thinking of situations for a shotgun, for instance, and whatnot, and you think of movies and games, sure, sniper rifles are good for long range, but Let's go to the ultimate scenario where you need a weapon. The zombie apocalypse. With the sniper rifle, you're gonna rack a couple rounds and get a couple zombies. With a shotgun, you're mowing through zombies, blasting them away. And you know, how many zombie series, honestly, how many zombie series can you think of? Oh man, that's a really good sniper rifle, you know? But there's always a good shotgun in zombies. If you're playing zombies mode on Call of Duty, every time that sniper rolls around in the secret box, you're just gonna let it flow down. I don't want a shotgun, or I don't want a sniper. I want that shotgun. So you're gonna buy it again. Guess what? I got that shotgun, and now I've got my drum shotgun. I'm gonna blast all of these zombies. You know why? Because if you want to have fun, you gotta run a shotgun. And I can see the last of my time.
Wow, 30 seconds on the clock, ending on a rhyme. All right. David, are you ready for your closing thoughts?
I am ready, yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, debate.
See, the argument over zombies doesn't even completely hold water because there have been 4 games in the Zombie Army series made by guess who? The Sniper Elite people. Where you just sniping out the zombies. They can't. The thing is if they can't even get to my doorstep because they're dying a mile away, it doesn't matter what they can do. Snipers are the Excalibur of video games. The thing that takes things out before they even have a chance at damaging me. Not to mention you can't get any more iconic than the Hitler missions in the Sniper Elite series, with the opportunity to blow off Hitler's one good ball. Which they do show, by the way. There's nothing as crazy as being able to get that shot at. I'll be honest, anytime that I get those shots, like, yeah, it cracking them in the head, watching as the limb flails off or whatnot, that's something. But when I kind of tense up just a little bit when you shoot down towards the pouch, towards the Franken beans. It just, there's something about that sniper. Something about that sniper. In the end, my argument has been precise, like the weapon that it's based on. But yours loses impact the further it has to go. And that's it.
All right. One second here for me to prep for Wes. All right, Wes. 3, 2, 1. Assist.
Okay, David literally took my argument about shooting Hitler in the testicles, which was going to be my assist trophy. So instead, I'm going to talk about my favorite way to play Far Cry, which is to camp outside a base, scope enemies, like figuring out where they all are, and then systematically snipe enemies, and then move around and just watch the absolute pandemonium that takes place while they're trying to figure out what's going on. There's guys, taking hits left and right. Sometimes you shoot a exploding canister, boom, you make big explosions. It's amazing. Best way to play Far Cry.
All right, that's the debate. Strong points on either side. I admit this, for me, has not settled the age-old debate. The argument rages on. It's so hard to choose.
It is tough. Yeah, my opponent has given shotguns a well-thought argument.
Oh man, dude, you using my points against me with every freaking game. The Sniper Elite, I forgot about the Zombie Army series, dude.
Shotgun Elite.
Dude,
that was
you're
so
talking
good.
to someone who worked at GameStop for 12 years.
Yeah. All right, that's our assist trophy, Wes. Who would you like to give your vote to?
Okay, so I personally feel like shotguns are probably still a more iconic weapon in video games. But I think David had some extremely strong points for sniper rifles. The fact that he brought up the fact that snipers are literally, like you said, their own specific genre of video game in a lot of cases. I think he just argued it better in this case. So even though I do prefer a shotgun over a sniper rifle, personally, I think
Fair.
I'm going to give it to David. In this
It's
case.
fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, just too many points David made were too compelling for me, and there's always, as someone who's on the outside of competitive multiplayer shooters, but has kind of a passing interest in them, unlike Wes. There's that part of me deep down inside that wishes like, oh man, I wish I was really good at the shotgun one day. And so instead I just picked the shotgun. But yeah, I think I do have to give my point to David. It was really close, but man, I think also part of it was you were dismissive of the sniper rifles in zombie games, Jonah, but man, that bolt action sniper rifle in Resident Evil 4. You don't even upgrade the reload speed because it's too delicious to watch play out, But as always, our vote doesn't count for anything, and the Discord members will decide the true winner. So luck be with you both. And Jonah, if you would like to give us a rundown on last week's debate and reveal the winner.
Yeah, real quick before I forgot the classic Terminator 2 shotgun, dude, where he's riding the motorcycle, shooting the shotgun and flipping it. Ah!
Dang.
Ah!
Yep. That's a good one.
Anyway.
Bad that's not in a video game.
Well, we were just talking about shotguns.
Yeah,
and actually it is in Modern Warfare 2 where you can dual wield those and do it 2 at a time.
Whoa.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I hate those people.
Anyway, we'll go on to last week's debate where it was MGS1 represented by Michael Damiani versus MGS3 represented by our lovely host Caden Berthy Lane. Taking the win by 3 points was MGS3. Congratulations, Caden. You won that debate.
Nice
MGS3
job.
wins by 3 points. It's poetic.
And with that,
Very poetic.
we'll move on to the pitch.
All right, we are back from the debate, and as always, it's all in good fun, no hard feelings, and I think our debaters acquitted themselves both well. So with that, we are moving into the pitch, wherein a few of us panelists will have 2 minutes to make an elevator pitch for a mystery game we've been playing, and the rest of the panelists will decide if they are buying or skipping the game. So I think this week, David and I have pitches. I'll go first. So yeah, Jonah, if you want to count me down.
You got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
All right, let me take you back to a time of grainy pixelated textures that somehow in your memory you see them as realistic. I'm talking like Metal Gear Solid 1 style. You think before the remake came out, you remember that as like a live action movie when you were a kid. And also a time of fixed camera angles, but also a time of cerebral puzzles. And this game takes all those classic things about video games, but also throws it in a blender to make a delicious smoothie out of psychological horror and sci-fi, cyberpunk, and androids. This game has a lot of very fun weapons. It has a shotgun. It does not have a sniper rifle. It has a flare gun that'll burn enemies to death with one hit, but could also be loaded with concussive grenade rounds.
Oh.
And
Alan Wake.
The whole game is this
Kevin.
this beautiful puzzle where the enemies never die in this game. You take them down with your limited resources, but they will, give it enough time, get back up and try to kill you again. So it's all about routing your path, managing your resources to make sure you have enough ammo to get through the enemies, to kill the ones that'll get back up, picking the right enemies to burn permanently to death so they don't reanimate.
30 seconds.
Is this the hallway that I'm going to be going back and forth over and over again? Then I need to make sure these enemies are going to stay down. because you don't have enough resources to burn them all. All right, so what do you guys think? Have I tantalized you with this retro throwback game, or no?
Oh, I think I know what this game is, and I am hard in. I've been actually thinking about purchasing what I think this game is already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should mention it's on Game Pass. Incredible value.
I'm in.
I guess I'm in by default since mine's good till 2025.
Yeah, we'll have to do a version of this game where you have to say whether you buy it or not if it was not on Game Pass.
I would buy it even if it wasn't on Game Pass. How about that?
Cool. Well, this game is called Signalis. I think it released in September. And it's just really great. It has kind of like the gameplay of classic Resident Evil, but like the vibe and atmosphere and storytelling style of like Silent Hill 1 and 2. It's like, in my opinion, like somehow perfectly marrying those two genres of horror while also kind of bringing its own spices to the mix, because it's sci-fi. You're partly on a space shuttle, you're partly in a mining facility, you're partly on a spaceship, and it's all about androids that are like, for some reason, going insane. It's like the androids have these brains that are like neurally imprinted with the personality of like a human, but it doesn't work right, and it slowly degrades over time and turns them insane. So it's like all that kind of vibe going on, and you're just trying to find your girlfriend. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite games of the year. I think it really
sounds
honestly
great.
could be a game.
Great. I love the
Yeah.
the style. It does look very like Metal Gear Solid 1. That's definitely the vibe that I get.
Yeah. The coolest thing is when you do a puzzle, even though it's fixed camera, the environments are fully 3D. So when you interact with a puzzle, the camera like zooms into the map and like into first person on the puzzle. It's really cool.
That's
yeah. So all right, David, are you ready for your pitch?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, Jonah, if you'd like to count him down.
All right, David, you've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
All right, so imagine, if you will, that you are in the wild, wild west, and for some crazy reason, there are a bunch of vampires around. So let's also imagine that you are a part of an organization that is supposed to be stamping all of these vampires out. As you play through this game, one of the things that I have noticed, the story not very strong. So we're not here for the story. There's a lot that I don't understand what is going on, as it's just not told, and I don't necessarily think that the lore fills in a lot of the gaps. But the gameplay. Everybody wanted the Order 1886 to be a lot of fun and a whole heck of a lot longer than that thing was. In this, it's like taking the Order 1886 and deciding, hey, I like Bulletstorm. Why don't we put that into it?
Oh.
So this is what is happening in this game, is you are fighting all of these different vampire creatures, and you've got a ton of different weaponry and things to be able to use, including the environment. And the best part about it is it's almost like a fighting game, because you're trying to figure out the best combos of how you're going to take everything on. So you can use your electrical gauntlet to not only like parry people, but it will electrocute them. But you can also use it to like zip towards them and electrocute them, or pull them to you and electrocute them, and then punch them to death, and then shoot this guy with your rifle, then use a shotgun blast you'll have to wait for it to cool down for a second, then throw a grenade, and then all these other things, and it's just the violence over the top. Awesome. Turn your brain off, have fun.
Time.
You said so many words that are amazing. Yeah,
boy, so you're telling me I can be a vampire slayer?
With an electrical grapple hook parry gauntlet and a shotgun? I mean, yes, I'm 1,000% in. It sounds like it might as well not have a story, because it doesn't need it. I mean, it sounds incredible.
You're telling me I can be a steampunk vampire slayer?
He didn't say steampunk. What are you talking about? Don't put words in his mouth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jonah West. So
Oh.
you biting or no?
Yeah, dude, it's been so long since we've had a good like Western game, and Vampire Slaying, Vampire Survivors was a great game this year. I'm all about the Vampire Slaying, and if I'm doing it with like my trusty lever action shotgun and my
Western
revolvers,
shotgun.
let's go.
It seems like the vampire killer icebreaker weapon was prophetic in hindsight.
Yes.
I think
think
for me, this definitely sounds like a game I could sink my teeth into.
Ooh.
Oh.
Supposed to be killing the vampires, not becoming one. You're the chosen one. All right, David,
Stop
you can
stealing
reveal...
from my summary, Wes.
you can,
you stole my my assist trophy, so
Yeah.
if you like to reveal the game now, I think we all know what it is, David.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we knew before the show. Evil West.
Yes.
Just dropped on gamingtrend.com. I went with the title 4 out of 5 vampires recommend. Vampire hunters recommend. It's just a good. We talked about it before the show, but there's not enough games out there that you can just kind of turn off your brain and just have fun.
Yeah.
Everything it feels like there's a intricate mission to what you're doing, and this one, yeah, there's a lot of intricacies and complexities to it, at least in the combat.
Right.
But it feels like it's something that I can still kind of take a back seat and just enjoy myself blowing the crap out of everything. And there's some actual tough moments in this game. Some of the best moments are actually the boss fights. Not enough games have good boss fights, and there are some great boss fights in this one.
That's awesome.
That actually make you change up kind of how you're playing and doing things and learning weak points in the midst of learning the attack patterns. But it's just a bloody good time.
So
just ripping things apart, like the same Gears of War Lancer feel. Like everybody loves it when the Lancer rips. It feels like this game is built on that.
Oh, by the way, is this first or third person? I don't know.
Third person. And it's actually stunning. Like visually, one of the people were really upset because you got to go to 1080p for 60 frames per second. Game does not suffer at all.
Yeah,
in
it's
1080p.
Flying Wild Hog, right?
Yep.
Developers of the Shadow Warrior series.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't know that connection.
You said the story was pretty met. Is there still like enough there to have fun with the story?
Yeah, you get about the second half of the game, you start feeling a little more invested in it, and it's there. Like it feels underdeveloped. That's probably the best word that I can use. So, and because it's underdeveloped, it kind of takes a back seat.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if it took a backseat in general, where a lot of attention was paid to how can we make this game super fun of just ripping everything a new one.
Should always prefer when developers prioritize gameplay over story if they have to choose. I think that's the right decision.
And this is the right game to do that. That's one of the reasons, at least in my mind, that it doesn't suffer, because it's not a game that has to have an incredible story. Some of it is like, it is real campy and corny, but then it tries to take itself a little bit seriously, so it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're saying
lean into the corn a little bit more.
You're saying cowboys aren't normally campy and corny?
Not when they're vampire hunters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have to put this one on my radar. It's kind of honestly giving me. I'm drawing connections between Monster Hunter Rise, which I play right now, because god awful story. Don't need to pay attention to it at all. There's no meat on that bone, but boy is the gameplay of Monster Hunter Rise so good.
And it's the good thing is this is all largely on one path. So like I said, when you don't when it's the whole I don't have to think about anything, there's a couple hidden things in areas that you just learn to look, but it's all straight across the road, like level design. So you can kind of just, like I said, everything can be on autopilot, and you're just having fun watching vampires get ripped apart.
Didn't they say that this, when the game launches, it's going to be on Game Pass, right?
It is not on Game Pass.
Oh, it won't be? Okay. I thought I heard it was going to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to our good friend Justin, who's been hyping this game
Yeah.
ever since
He's
it was announced.
over the moon about it.
This one's for
Yeah,
you,
he's
Justin.
Super excited about it.
And
yeah.
and you can check out our full review on gamingtrend.com. as it is up.
I'm gonna go right now. Oh wait, we have to finish the podcast.
All right, well, that's the pitch, and I'll turn things over to our resident game master, Wes Bates.
Today we are going to be playing the word association game, which David just reminded us the last time he was on the show, we actually played this game. So kind of random. I did not intend for that to happen, but hey, we'll go with it. So the way this game works, I'll be calling out a series of words related to a video game character, describing this character in some way. The words will start out somewhat vague and then get very, very specific towards the end. So whoever guesses the character correctly first gets the point. If you guess and you get it incorrect, you have to wait until the rest of the panel guesses and gets it incorrect as well, and then you can all have another chance. Anybody have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, let's get started. Number 1. Fatigues. Fighter jet. Flag. Home. Hair.
What's his name? I know it, but I don't know the guy's name.
I'm
Sonic Boom! I heard.
Wait, do I have to say my name to guess, or do I
Yeah.
just say the
Yeah,
movie first?
yeah. I heard
Okay.
you say your name.
Is it Guile?
It's Guile.
Yes.
Oh,
I knew who it was. I just
When you
couldn't,
said comb,
couldn't
yeah.
place it.
The name, yeah.
All right. Number 2. Space. Prosthetics. Fur. Pilot.
Aiden.
Yes.
Star Fox.
Oh,
It is.
You said
Also-
fur prosthetics. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's Fox McCloud. I'll take Star Fox. So.
Can you give us that random video game trivia about why his legs are amputated?
I try to remember why. It's
It's
something
some-
like the 0G, or they're like flying so hard that like the blood in their body is will pool like in their lower
Their
appendages,
legs,
so they
they're
have to
going
like
too fast.
so they have to like cut off their like legs so that the they
Really
would
a
like lose
weird,
consciousness or
dark,
something while they're
This is
flying.
like some
Unnecessarily
some
realistic.
Assassin's Creed crap. I mean,
Yeah,
cut off
Anyway,
the
sorry.
ring finger for the hidden blade.
yeah.
All right, number 3. Fire. Horns. Wings. Headbutt. Purple. Sheep.
Aiden.
Yes,
Spyro the Dragon.
it is Spyro.
darn it. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice, good job.
Up until you said purple, I was like, this could be any dragon from the entire media of like human existence.
You guys are being really cautious so far.
Yeah.
Nobody's jumping in with the early guesses. That's fine.
dude, my mind is so out of it right now. Caden is.
I can only
wiping
think
the
of snipers right now.
I know.
Alright.
Yeah, snipers and shotguns.
I just got shotguns blasting in my head.
No. All right, number 4. Jump. Italian.
Jonah,
David,
8.
I heard Jonah first.
Mario.
It's not Mario.
What?
Took
David.
the bait.
Yes, David.
Luigi.
It's not Luigi.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
Climb.
Climb.
Cloak.
Cloak.
Murder.
What?
Hidden blade.
Whoa. Caden.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna guess Ezio because he's the only one I know.
It is Ezio.
Okay. That was such a great name.
He definitely set up Mario at the beginning there.
Yeah.
We just said Assassin's
We
Creed.
literally just said Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Yeah. David with the
What
the
what I
big
think is-
brain Luigi trying to dodge the obvious Mario.
Oh, I think what was really funny is the fact that he was goading us because of being cautious. Now we see why.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Singing. Brown. Dinky.
Jonah.
Oh
Yes.
no.
It's the turd monster from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
I typically I need the name, Jonah.
I don't know the name. I just know the character.
All right, it is the Great Mighty Pooh
The Great Mighty Pooh.
from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
What a pull. What
I'm
a
glad
pull.
that the only point I've got is the crappiest character on the list.
Mhm.
Literally. All right, number 6. Football.
Oh dear.
Glasses. Otaku. Rocket powered motorcycle. Assassin.
Oh, Kaden.
Yep.
Travis touchdown.
Oh.
It is Travis touchdown.
That's where the football came in.
After you said the motorcycle, his face popped into my mind, but I couldn't think of. I was just like, oh, it's No More Heroes.
Yep, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to come up with like 6 very descriptive words for Travis touchdown.
Yeah.
He's actually not a very interesting looking character. Number 7. Blonde. Smile. Blue.
David,
Yes.
Samus.
No.
Oh,
Darn.
that would be a good pick based off of what we heard so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mascot.
Blonde?
Thumbs up.
Jonah.
Yep.
Hold on real quick.
Oh, come on.
What?
No.
Okay, I don't have him. It's Vault Boy.
It is Vault
I
Boy.
I have a Vault Boy Funko
Hold on.
Pop in there, but
there is no whole. I'm gonna give you that point, but no,
I was
no more
gonna
of these
grab my
shenanigans.
Funko Pop, but I don't have it.
Do you know where my brain was going? I was like, is this Sonic the Hedgehog in
Me
Chaos
too.
form?
Me
Like
too.
the blonde?
The last clue was nuclear. So
Supersonic? Yeah.
Oh,
all right, number 8, handheld,
Ooh.
brown, detective, puzzle.
Aiden.
Yes,
Professor Layton?
it is Professor Layton.
Nice.
well done, sir.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess technically at this point, we can keep going. Technically, I think Jonah.
It's a
can
fight between last place between David and Jeff.
If Caden gets any more, then he's automatically won the game. But we'll keep going. Number 9, convict, soldier, gruff, do-rag.
Oh.
David,
Oh,
Yes,
Marcus Phoenix.
it is Marcus Phoenix.
Nice.
There.
I was gonna get the
board.
Gears of War one.
Yeah.
I spent $800 on Gears of War 3.
Whoa.
all kinds of stuff for it. I got the system. I got the replica Lancer, the special
Incredible.
edition, all of it.
Yeah.
That was the one you needed to get to maintain your reputation. So-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, number 10, hero, helmet, scarf,
Scarf.
racer.
Jonah.
Yep,
Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Show you.
Nicely done. All right, number 11. Villain. Katana. Corruption.
Oh.
Black. White. Spider-Man.
David,
Yep.
Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
I was going to
Got it.
say like Venom or something. So before I was going to say Sephiroth, but I was like, this has to be bait.
First, I was about to say
Alright.
Afro Samurai.
I forgot he had a katana.
Yes, it was Afro Samurai. Good job. All right. Let's see. What are we on? Number 12. All right. White hair. Bodyguard. Sword.
David,
Mm-hmm.
Sephiroth.
No. Sorry.
Figured it was worth a try.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Sage.
Sage.
Sheikah.
Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
Sheik.
Not chic.
Oh no! No!
David.
No! Oh, as soon as I said it, no!
Yeah, yeah. Impa.
Yeah.
It's Impa.
Dang it. We know you saw Impa in your head.
I
and she
did.
just came out. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
All right, 3 more. At this point, Caden has officially won the game, but we'll run through the rest. There's 3 more. All right, Knight. Cape. Green. Tongue. Masamune. Ribbit.
I just don't know this one.
This is disappointing, Caden. You disappointed me.
Oh no, should I know it? Oh, hit it!
Yes, Caden.
Frog from Chrono Trigger.
It is Frog.
It's like, what?
Almost lost my gamer card.
Yeah, definitely. Have you not played Chrono Trigger?
I have,
Jonah?
but it's been a long time.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh man.
It's
Take away
okay,
Jonah's
Caden.
gamer card.
I already lost it by not saying Impa.
Yeah,
I have to
psychologically
take this off now. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to
Quick,
have
Wes, come up with another Zelda character to redeem Jonah.
We have to redeem Jonah. All right, number 14. Platform. Buzzsaw. Red. Bandages. Restart.
Jonah.
Yes,
Meat Boy?
it's Meat Boy.
Whoa. I don't think I would have got that in a million years.
Nicely done. All right, here's the last one. Striped. Mask. Thief.
David,
Dang it.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Sly Cooper.
It's like Cooper.
Ooh, nice.
I couldn't think of his name for some reason. Just dumb because it's the name of the game.
It's that raccoon dude.
Yeah, that one raccoon guy.
It's
Alright.
Raccoon Guy, dude.
So, winner of the game with 8 points out of 15. Caden, well done. Jonah coming in with 4 points for second. And David with 3. at
I'm
the
just
end.
happy I got a couple.
Yeah, on the board. On the board. All right. Well, thank you so much for organizing the game, Wes. As I always say, it's my favorite part of the show. Appreciate the work you put on for that. Great fun. And with that, lads, we have made it to the end of the show. Congratulations. And we'll quickly go around for our final thoughts. As our guest, David, if you'd like to go first, feel free to plug anything you want to plug or anything that's on your mind for your final thoughts.
Sure. No, it's nice to be getting to the end of the year. Hopefully have some great time with friends and family around the holidays. be able to chill out and just play some games for fun as opposed to because I have to. Even as fun as it can be when you have to. If you want to check out any of my content, you can go to gamingtrend.com, as well as you can catch me on Twitter at splitend89.
Sweet. All right, Wes, final thoughts.
Yeah, just want to thank David for coming on the show. It's a pleasure as usual. Also wanted to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Draft Punks and Friendly Fire. They recently did a fundraiser for Extra Life, and they put on a heck of a fundraiser. And if you guys have any interest in a good cause, I'm sure that they probably still have some links to donations. But yeah, go help them out. Help some children's hospitals. It's a good cause, and you know, they put in a lot of work for it, and you know, they should be applauded for it.
Heck yeah.
All right, Jonah, final thoughts.
Well, we just closed our Secret Santa, and I believe we ended out with just shy of 20 people for Secret Santa. So that was like
Awesome.
That's super fun. Sorry if anyone else wanted to get in. We closed it. So we won't be able to get any more people in. But yeah, we're just finishing out the year strong. And David, you got the headshot on me, man. Oh man, that was so good. You had the high ground the whole debate.
Snipers have to.
Yeah. Good job on that debate, man. I wish I could shake your hand because that was really good.
But your head's blown off.
But my head's blown off.
No motor function, unfortunately.
He got to see the bullet go through my head.
Yeah, X-ray slow motion. It was sweet.
At least he didn't shoot you in the testicle, you know?
Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
The one testicle. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, just echoing Wes. Thank you so much, David, for taking time. We know how super busy you are, especially this time of year, and it means a lot to us. So, yeah, you're the man. Thanks for coming on the show. And
thank you all so much.
Yeah. I've been your host, as always, Katie Bertha Lane. I guess my final thoughts are, man, I'm having a great time on Twitter, just catching clips of glitches in the new Pokemon game that are just utterly hilarious. And yeah, so as always, happy gaming. Bye.
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 As always, a big thank you to our friend Misdriven for the music in our podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to check out more of what they have, you can pay them a visit on Twitter at MIST_RIVEN 719 or on Bandcamp at Misdriven. Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time.